Okay, welcome to another Carlton Open training video. Sunday. Pretty fucking cold down here at Princes Park this morning. The team have been out here training for around about 15 minutes. I might just keep this footage rolling. Big Murkoff kicking inside forward 50. Got Cottrell in the number 18. That always is out there. I'll just do commentary over the top. Just a few observations. Now, most of the players are out there. Not quite sure how long these guys are going to train for this morning. And unsure when they're actually going up to Brisbane. They do have a captain's run at the Gabba on Thursday. Corey Durden has had a few injuries over the pre-seasons out there. I can tell you that obviously no Jack Silvani, no Wiedering. Sam Walsh is indoors, hasn't come out. Jesse Motlop, who hurt himself last week in the practice match against Melbourne, he's not out there either, so he'd have to be under serious doubt to take his spot in the team against the Brisbane Lions. Jack Martin with that knee injury is not out there. Good to see Orazio Fantasia out there. And surprise, surprise, no Caleb Marchbank, who, by all reports, had some sort of virus. Which means you would think Brody Kemp, Mitch McGovern will play. I suppose the big question is who takes that key position post on a Jay Danaher or a Harry Kipwood. Will it be Lewis Young, who hasn't set the world on fire in his 2 practice games, or Sam Durden, who got through a practice game last week and is out there training this morning. Cunningham. I suppose the positive with Cunningham is he's had a full pre-season, probably the first one he's had since he's been at the football club. It looks pretty fit, although his form in the 2 practice games has been somewhat underwhelming. He's not the only one. There's young Billy Wilson. Got a small taste in the last quarter against the Doos. Michael Voss did say in a bit of a talk he did before training started that this would be a modified session. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that means, but there's Doherty just running away from the main group. Brody Kemp running away from the main group. The rest of them are doing some sort of rotation work at the moment. As the ground ball gets over this side of the ground, and also have a couple of defenders, Nick Newman and Mitch McGovern, doing some sort of really light sort of stride work away from the main group as well. Let's just take a look at this group here, what they're doing. We've got Patrick Cripps, a heavily strapped Matthew Kennedy, who played last week in the VFL, heavily strapped left leg, it sort of goes right up his thigh. down to his calf. Don't like the look of that, but he's out there training. Billy Wilson. Sam Durden in the bib with Jackson Binns doing the tackling on Cripps. And also George Hewitt. Binns tackles Wilson. Apologies for the camera work, guys, but wouldn't it be great if the players actually came across and trained on this side so we could actually see them? Right down that far end, we've got Hudson O'Keefe developing young ruckman up against one of the tallest blokes I've ever seen, Alex Burkhoff. He is an absolute giant. And Dominic Acue down there as well. They're just doing a little bit of work, a bit of testing work. Let's take a look at this group here. You can see Cowan, the Irishman, Monahan, got Blake Acres, that left shoulder strapped. Cunningham, left shoulder strapped. Ashton Moyer in the green. Pretty good crowd here this morning. Again, for this open training session, I had to laugh. I'm the Master of Ceremonies. And around about 9:45, sort of said this is the first open training session they've had in 7 weeks. That's a long time between drinks to let the fans in to watch these guys train. Okay, we've got some other guys doing some running over here, away from the group. Looks like Corey Durden and maybe Matthew Owens. Nice, Fantasia. So there you go. No, it's actually Matthew Owens. Haven't they become injury prone, those two? Let us know the small forward setup, guys, in the comments. With doubts now on the availability of Jesse Motlop. I say Fantasia plays, he's had a pretty solid pre-season. And will they roll the dice on either Rowies or Durden, or just go in with Fantasia and a Fogarty? Just remembering Elijah Hollins can't play, it's 2-week suspension. Okay, so they've come across. This is a little bit better. Let's have a look here. Look at this big Murkoff. I've got a feeling it's going to be a relatively light session. It's not being done at any real high intensity. Elijah Hollins. There's the youngster Ashton Moyer. Pitnet. Fucking hell, isn't that going to be interesting? I mean, the Lions don't play 2 rucks. They go Oscar McInerney and then Danaher has a chop out. They always do that. Sometimes they'll play Darcy Fort, but not often. And I don't know. I just don't know whether we're going to play TDK and Pitnet in the same team against the Brisbane Lions, or we go TDK and Harry. Last week against Melbourne. would say Fogarty plays as a pressure forward. I mean, the Lions halfbacks killed us in that prelim final last year. Absolutely slaughtered us, so we probably need some defensive forwards who are going to put some real pressure on. He's probably our best pressure forward, but he just doesn't have the polish or the skill to hit the scoreboard. No Connor McKenna though for the Brisbane Lions, which is, he played really well in that prelim final. He's not actually playing with a hamstring injury, so that's a bonus. He fucking destroyed us in that prelim. Alright, we'll roll over here. There's Kennedy with that strapping. I don't think there's going to be a lot of surprises, to be perfectly honest, against the Lions. I think we'll pretty much go in what we went in with that last practice game. There's no Marchbank. Motlop's not going to play. Walsh is not going to play. I'd be very, very surprised if they take any injured players into this game. It's just not worth it. Voss has brought him in for a chat. Hopefully he's fucking telling them it's a very, very flat way to start a session for the first game of the season. He's relative. I mean, the talk is really, really low out there. I mean, you can train at sort of 3/4 pace, but is there buzz out there? But I doubt that's what he's actually doing, to be perfectly honest. But I'm on the money, guys. He's definitely brought them in for a bit of a talk, because the voice is definitely up now, and the intensity's just gone up a fraction. Very interesting. You would hope your leaders are taking control, real control. So, I mean, sometimes the coaches have got to bring the group in, but this is where the leaders really need to stand up. Oh, definite lift in intensity, and the voice has gone to another level. Interesting. I mean, I mentioned it before. I think the big one is whether they go Sam Durden or Lewis Young. This is the first time I've actually seen Sam Durden train from the start. Last time we were here, he was running laps by himself. Sort of been on a modified program for a period of time, but it's actually the first time I've seen him train. Blake Acres just having a kick here with Dominic Q. Seems to be giving him some instructions on a few pointers. Just average. Seriously, just average. No good. No good. anyway, good luck to the kid, but been on the list now for a good 3 years. Showed zero development in that time, I reckon. Let's take a look at Adam Chera doing some work in the middle. That's Luke Power with the ball. Well, he was doing some ground ball gets and whacking into that pad. Lemmy in the green and Harry. Doing some contesting work. A little bit of running. I would hardly call that 3/4 pace, whatever that is. Andrew Russell will take in this group. I'm a good, fairly good reader of body language. I've got no doubt that Michael Voss gave those boys a bit of a spray. I don't think he's in a bad mood. Voss, just his body language. I reckon they've come out here a little bit party mode. This team this morning, open training session. So we've got another group on the other side doing exactly the same thing. So that's David Cunningham out in the front with Harry, Big Murkoff. You wouldn't have to take many strides, Alex Murkoff, to get from one side of the ground to the other. So really, Doc hasn't done a hell of a lot. So Doc McGovern are over there having a kick together, and Corey Durden and Owies are doing the running. Now, I can't see any of those two playing against the Brisbane Lions. I'm talking about Durden and Matt Owies. They will not be playing. So we're looking potentially at a sort of small forward line. Our block of Fantasia, Fogarty and Matt Cottrell. And then you sort of high half forwards, Cunningham, no Jack Martin, and no Elijah Hollins. Yeah, you wouldn't call that particularly damaging or dangerous. I mean, it's a far cry from how we went in to last year's round one. I think we had all of Motlop, Durden and Matt Owies play in the first 3 or 4 rounds of the season. So it's going to be a a different look front half in regards to our smalls against the Brisbane Lions. I mean, who plays that sort of hybrid role as well, you know? We play both Pittman and TDK, so TDK starts forward, I'm not quite sure. Does Matthew Kennedy come in? Okay, they're doing some end-to-end sort of, we'll call it match sim, but Boyd, Fogarty. So they're doing it on both sides of the ground. So Gov's joined in here, which is, I suppose, good news. I mean, he is always on a modified program. It's almost like he does like an extended warm-up, Gov, and then joins in these types of drills. And also Doc as well. Doc is also joined in this. So Zoe's, that was Zoe's kicking the ball. Ins. That was Binns just turning the ball over there. He was disappointed with himself. Really disappointed with himself for that. I suppose the other one is, which I haven't really mentioned so far, is Zach Williams, who is training. I'll try and get the camera on him. He's over on this side of the ground. He's got the orange boots on the far side. Now he's the other one who got through the game last week in the VFL and impressed, but I just don't know whether they will take a risk with him. I don't know if he's even in consideration, to be perfectly honest, but he is training. It looks to have sort of pulled up pretty well from his first hit out for, what was it, 18 months. I mean, the other one, if he didn't play in the seniors on the weekend, he played in the VFL, was Ashton Moyer. Did he play in the VFL? But he did play in that first game, kicked a couple of goals against Geelong. And given no Jack Martin and a number of blokes that you probably won't take the risk on, does he make a debut? Do we have much of a choice? Does he come in? Not sure. There's the Irishman, Monaghan, who I reckon's really impressive. I really do. There's Corey Durden, so he's out there doing this. So those guys have done extensive warm-ups. Durden and Owies have had some soft tissue injuries over the pre-season. Okay, then we'll track Sam Durden. I suppose he's the other one that we want to have a look at. He's in the green there at the back. Let's track him for a while. I just feel like he, right now, if you're tossing up between him and Lewis Young, he just feels like he could be a safer bet. as in just pure lockdown. I feel that Lewis Young's lost all confidence. There's Hudson O'Keefe. Jordan Russell. There's Jordan Russell, guys. Boyd to Carroll. Carroll to Akers. Akers to Charlie. The Lions forward line is just fucking outrageously talented, and I just can't see, given the way we've performed in the pre-season so far in the 2 practice games, particularly against Melbourne, how disorganised we look. I just can't see us holding them. And you've got Danaher and Hipwood, and they're now even playing Darcy Gardner down there as that really hard-working sort of half forward who gets up the ground and is really tough. And then those smalls and medium hybrid, Cam Rayner and Zach Bailey and McCarthy and Charlie Cameron. For the life of me, it's giving me a headache thinking about it. No Marchbank, no Wiedering. Bruce McAvaney voice on, guys. We've got looks like a little bit of match sim, corridor match sim, maybe 14v14. Sard is in the orange vest. Now, there's a couple of players in the orange vest. We've got Sard up one end, so they must be like the running half back. So we've got Sard up this end in the orange vest and Zach Williams up that end. Cowan goes long, finds Kennedy with the knee band on, then goes wide to Harry, who's got Sam Durden for company. Hits Charlie up. He's all over him like a cheap suit. Chincotta. It's a difficult matchup for Chincotta. Maybe that's going to be his role against the Brisbane Lions. Maybe he's going to have to take the tall play. I don't think so. Charlie from around about 45-degree angle. Looks like he's pushed that one across the face. So we've got Jordan Boyd up that end in the green doing the kick-ins, which he did against Melbourne. I reckon that's his role. I really do. I think he's going to be that player, a distributor by foot. Carroll, inboard. Cripps, short, Elijah Hollands, there we go. That's that closing speed of Adam Sard. Unbelievable. I don't reckon there's a better player in the competition who closes space on his direct opponent. Almost teases the opposition to go short. And he just feeds off it. Durden, back to Carroll. There we go. We're really working this sort of corridor. Cripps to Wilson. Oh, that's fucking awful, Lewis Young. I mean, seriously. So this is Hudson O'Keefe. So look at this kid's kicking style. I actually like it. I like this guy. I think he likes that too. That's straight through the middle. So Sard's loose up that end and Williams is loose up the other end. Nice foot by Carroll. He's kicking. His actually kicking's not been too bad in his drill so far. Jack Carroll. Now that was a cue. Was that a cue? That was a cue. He's just turned it over. I mean that's delisting. I'm sorry. That's delisting. I mean, so they're going to do a stoppage. Looks like they're going to do a stoppage here. Okay, here we go. Pins. So protect the corridor. He's going to go one down the line. That's good. Seems to be a bit of a focus here on patience. Brisbane are just the masters of getting back. I mean, Harris Andrews, you kick it long, they're just gonna pick it off every day of the week. So there we go. Holland's into Harry. Just like to see our fucking big forwards just get better separation. Jesus! Dom. Signed, sealed and delivered. Sam Durden. Looking the goods. Based on what I've seen in this so far, he could be in. Fair goal to Moyer. There's David Cunningham over there on the sidelines, not joining in this. So, Durden on Harry. Good kicking board. Akers to Rock Hudson. Okay. Boyd. That's the run from behind we want from Boyd because he can kick it. green are toweling blue up at the moment. Absolutely fucking toweling them up. Alright, this is a part of his game that is pretty bloody average. Lucky Fogarty, that is his set shots for goal from about this range. I mean, seriously though, if you're going to be a small forward, you can be precious small forward, but you've got to be able to nail those goals when you get your opportunity. I just don't think it's good enough. Poor old Don accused, now known as fucking Apple Turnover. Christ almighty, the poor kid is having an absolute dreadful session. Durden's been good. Cripps, good tackle. Good tackle. Like Kennedy. They've got a history, those two, in this sort of match him stuff. They're going head to head. Very nice stuff by Zach Williams. Out to Boyd. Could have gone short to Durden then, inboard. Oh, he has now. He's pulled the kick around the body. That's pretty ordinary stuff. It's 11:52 and I reckon that's just about a wrap. We've got Murkoff and Moe's just doing a bit of goal kicking. Which is quite hilarious seeing Matthew Owies having a shot for goal with the biggest bloke I've ever seen in the world standing on the mark. And the rest of the guys are just sort of wandering around. I reckon the crowd here are getting ready for